Good morning, students. The chapter that I am going to discuss now is motions of the earth. There are mainly two motions, rotation and revolution. The earth rotates on its own axis from west to east in 24 hours. This period of 24 hours is called rotation or earth day. Now let's come to some important facts about rotation. The earth is inclined at an angle of 66.5 degree left from its orbital plane or 23.5 degree right from the vertical plane. This inclination of the earth does not change its position during the revolution. This tilt always remains in the northeastern direction. Now let's come to the effects of rotation. You must have seen that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. This occurrence of day and night happens due to the rotation of the earth. Secondly, due to the rotation of the earth, deflection in the direction of winds and ocean currents occur. Lastly, we all know that the earth spins at a great speed. This creates a centrifugal force, and because of it, the center of the earth is bulged out at the center and flat at the poles. Now let's come to revolution. The movement of the earth around the sun on its own axis is known as revolution. Revolution takes 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes and 45 seconds to complete one revolution. In short, we can say that the earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution. So from the time taken by the revolution of the earth, we can see that the earth takes 365 days and the rest 6 hours of each year is added to the month of February after every 4 years, calling the February as the leap month and the year as the leap year, having 366 days. 2020 is a leap year. Now let's come to some important facts about the revolution of the earth. First point, the path along which the earth moves around the sun is called the orbit and its shape is elliptical. The earth also moves around the sun from west to east. The earth revolves at a speed of 30 km per second and the orbit is about 965 million kilometers long. Now let's come to the earth's revolution. The most striking effect of the revolution is the occurrence of seasons. Usually we have 4 seasons, namely summer, winter, autumn and spring. Again, because of revolution, we have summer solstice and winter solstice. Summer solstice happens on 21st June when the northern hemisphere remains inclined towards the sun and the southern hemisphere remains away from it. At this time, the sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Cancer while it falls slantingly on the Tropic of Capricorn. The days in the northern hemisphere becomes longer than the southern hemisphere. 21st June is the longest day in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day in the southern hemisphere. During this time, the North Pole is inclined towards the sun and so receives continuous light for almost 6 months. In the same way, as the South Pole remains away from the sun, it remains in darkness during this period. The opposite happens during winter solstice, that is during 22nd December. At this time, the southern hemisphere is inclined towards the sun and the northern hemisphere remains away. Sun rays fall vertically on the Tropic of Capricorn and slanting rays on the Tropic of Cancer. So the northern hemisphere experiences winter and southern hemisphere experiences summer. 22nd December is the longest day in the southern hemisphere and the shortest day in the northern hemisphere. Again, the North Pole, as it will be away from the sun, will be in darkness for 6 months and vice versa for the South Pole. Now let's come to the next point, equinoxes. 21st March and 23rd September is considered as equinoxes because the length of days and nights are equal throughout the year. On these 2 days, the sun rays fall vertically on the equator. Neither of the two poles are inclined towards the sun. Another effect of revolution is varying lengths of days and nights. It happens due to the inclination of the Earth's axis. Now with this, I conclude today's chapter. Still, if you have any doubt, you may contact me over phone and clarify yourself. Thank you.